Hello, everybody. Welcome to Duo Planet. Forgive me, I'm out of practice. I almost said something else. Um, to another review. Been a while since we've done any reviews. I think the last one we did was House of the Dragon.
Yeah,
Um, but today we are reviewing the recently released Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated show by Disney. I am obviously joined by fellow host Jordan, aka Slasher.
everybody.
And we didn't do an episode last week because we weren't sure if we were actually going to do any recording because we haven't done recording in a while because I have been busy with uni in London. But
That's why
we
his
have decided
audio
we
is
are.
different than usual.
We decided that we are. So there's 5 episodes that have been released for the show so far. Um, 5, I would say, pretty consistent, pretty good episodes. Um, one thing that needs noting: the theme song absolutely slaps.
Really does.
Probably the best part of the show. It's an intro that we never skip, and we skip quite a few of them nowadays.
We only skip
Um,
ones we don't like, and this one we absolutely fucking love.
so, bit of context for the show. Obviously, originally it was Spider-Man freshman year. It was supposed to be a pseudo origin story for the MCU's Spider-Man. That has changed. It is now a parallel, I would say, to the MCU Spider-Man. This version of Peter Parker receives his powers um, on his first day at Midtown High when a creature from some alternate reality, I would assume, attacks the school, pursued by the one, the only, the magical Doctor Strange. And while the fight is going on, a spider exits the portal and is left behind, landing on Peter Parker. It receives a bite, and a few months later decides to become the Spider-Man.
And
We have
there is
a
a prequel comic that leads up to that bit. Uh, Notes are Ben Parker, Peter's uncle, died before he became Spider-Man due to sickness. And what was it? Can't remember what the other film was. There's a few of us, but that's basically the gist of that.
yeah. So obviously people questioned where does the great power with great responsibility line come in. The showrunner has stated that this version of Peter Parker has grown up with um, his uncle's influence, and obviously with his uncle dying before he became Spider-Man, he didn't need the pep talk to realize he needed to use the powers wisely. Good for him. um and yeah, we've got a couple, well, we've got a very, very stacked cast of characters actually for this show. Obviously we've got Peter Parker, who is of course the
Uh,
Spider-Man. A very, very good interpretation of Spider-Man, I
yeah,
will add.
I will add as well. You got
That
Nico. You
is,
got Nico, who is a member of the Runaways team. She isn't a runaway in this. She doesn't have her powers yet, but if you know, she is. If you've watched the TV show, she is the one who with the magic staff. So we don't know if she'll get her powers, but she is that member of the Runaways.
yes. There's a few characters that are uh, sort of put-ins for other characters. So instead of a Flash Thompson, we have a Lonnie Lincoln,
If you
who
know, is Tombstone.
is referred to as Tombstone in the comics. Obviously, this version isn't Tombstone to begin with, but is slowly developing into the character as this show has gone on. Obviously, episode 1 through 5, we've sort of had a bit of that development happen. Instead of a Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy, we have a Pearl Pangan, I think her name is. I know it's Pearl. I don't know what her last name is. I think it's Pangan. But Pearl is our stand-in for Mary Jane or Gwen. She is Peter's crush.
What's her last name?
Um,
Magan.
Pangan, I
P
think.
A P A.
N Gan.
Oh, apparently in the comics, she is a superhero in 616. Oh, she is a Atlantean by the looks of it. Pearl Pangan.
I think so.
She displays a strong affinity for water and early is becoming a swimmer of promise.
Who else do we have? Oh, well, obviously we can't have a Spider-Man show without May Parker, aka Aunt May. Again, very good. We have a Tony Stark insert, so instead of Tony Stark being the mentor figure for this Spider-Man, we have Norman Osborn in a reversal of the character, where he appears to instead be a genuinely good guy rather than a
Yeah,
megalomaniac
apparently,
psycho.
yeah, I think it is this version of her. It is
Um,
her.
Obviously, coming with Norman, there is also Harry Osborn, who isn't friends with Peter to begin with, but as the episodes have gone on, they've interacted a little bit. There's been a few developments in that relationship. And then we've got the cast of your villains of the week, so to speak. We've had quite a few: Speed Demon, the Unicorn. We had Heat Wave, or whatever he was calling himself, the Fire Guy. We've had the introduction of Scorpion, aka Matt Gargan, um, and the ever illustrious and potentially main villain of the series, Mr. Otto Octavius, aka
Who at the
Doc Ock.
minute is not Doc Ock, he's just making weapons.
Is like a super arms dealer. But the story so far in the show has seen Peter go from shy new kid to pseudo Spider-Man with a homemade suit and homemade gadgets, to testing out some suits provided by Norman Osborn, to finally having a prototype suit, white and black coloration with some red accents. Um, Harry and Peter think it needs more color. Oh yeah, spoiler alert: Harry knows Peter's Spider-Man in this universe, and he is, and I'll use their term for it, his dude at the desk. Instead of Ned's guy in the chair, he's the dude at the desk, which is very, very entertaining. But yeah, I I am quite pleased with the show so far. At first, I was apprehensive. I won't lie. I saw the trailers. I saw promo footage, and I was like, not a big fan of the animation, not a big fan of the style. I take back what I said. It absolutely slaps and is awesome. The
Here's the thing
music
about Will,
choices,
everybody. Here's the thing about Will. He's skeptic about everything until it's out, and then he likes it.
yeah, and I think that's the best way to be, because if I have low expectations and it's bad, then I'm right.
So
If I
you're
have low expectations
basically,
and it's
so
good,
you're
I'm
saying
right.
uh, you're basically Michelle from MCU.
Yeah, keep my expectations low. That way, I'm surprised either way. And if I'm surprised bad, then that's bad. But if I'm surprised good, then it's very good. And this surprised me quite a lot. At first, I thought that the swinging was going to look a little iffy because of the animation style. Um, when he gets his white and black suit, we get a pseudo final swing scene where he's like testing it out, and the swinging looked sick.
He does.
Also, probably the funniest version of Spider-Man we've had in a while.
True. When me
This
and Will
man
watched, when me and Will watched, I think the first two episodes, Will messaged me like not long after, talking about how this show, it's not, it's not beating Spectacular Spider-Man, but for some reason, it feels inspired by it.
it feels, and pardon the use of of a adjective that they associate with Spider-Man quite a lot. It feels amazing.
Mm.
And
It
I think that this and the Spectacular Spider-Man are on equal footing at this
we
point.
get the normal life of Spider-Man. We get his out of Spider-Man life. We see him be Peter. We see him be Spider-Man. We get that life. We get everything you like. It's basically the show's jam packed of everything you like about Spider-Man.
And he's fun.
And I know, there's people out there who whine and bitch about Spider-Man being in school, and they're sick and tired of Spider-Man being in school, in live action anyway. You don't realise Spider-Man's never actually stayed in school in any of the movies? He's barely in it. Sam Raimi's films, he's in it for like 5 seconds, and then he graduates. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man films, he's in school for like a few scenes. Other than that, he's not in it. MCU Spider-Man, he's in school the entire first 3 movies for a portion, and then
Well, in the second film, he's not even in the school. He's on a
he's
trip
he's
across
still
Europe.
in school. He's just on a trip with school, Shusser. But this show has him in school. We get to see that live. I just don't really care because I don't think we've ever actually got him properly in school in live action.
Not only that, but we're actually getting to see the strain that being Spider-Man has on relationships. Because obviously, in one of the episodes, Peter gets invited to a party because he's the new good luck charm for Lonnie, and he has to avoid it because he's fighting Fireman. This one of the episodes released this week. He invites Nico to the movies to watch a movie that they're hyped about. He's late. Not only is he late, but then he shows up with Harry Osborn, who Nico doesn't like because she is very, very against rich people.
And Will also said that he thinks that Nico actually has a crush on Peter, which I agree.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that it's a crush, because we don't know enough about Nico's feelings. We don't get quite enough of the scenes with her, but she cares a lot about Peter. And I think she feels, if she's not crushing, then I think she feels like he's trying too hard to impress everyone with the Oscorp internship, aka being Spider-Man, and at school and all the other stuff. And I think she fears not having her best friend.
Mm.
And having that friend taken away by the allures of, let's say, a rich billionaire, aka Harry Osborn, who in pretty much every iteration is Peter Parker's best friend.
Mm.
This show has done something quite interesting, which is a pretty big Spider-Man villain is currently friends with Spider-Man and doesn't know it.
Which
Lonnie is friends with Peter and doesn't know it. Peter's crush, aka Pearl, is currently going out with Lonnie, which I assume is going to put her in some crossfire eventually, where Peter will have to save her as Spider-Man.
And he's already got his name tombstone.
Yeah, and he took a knife for the leader of the 110th Street gang to stop the
Scorpion.
death of him by stopping Scorpion.
Scorpion in this version of it, he is a gang. He's a leader of a rival gang.
And apparently he's fairly new, but also he hunted people in
the past for a living.
Past for a living, which I think is interesting. Also, design note: he has heterochromia. He has 2 different coloured eyes,
which was cool to see.
And he has a massive scar on his back.
Yeah, he has like a. It's probably where he gets the name from.
I think we will end up with a. Well, we do end up with a suit with him. Obviously, to come in the show, we have a fight between him, aka Scorpion, and Spider-Man. We have Daredevil, who's going to appear and have some scenes with him, voiced by the wonderful Charlie Cox. And we have some more Doctor Strange scenes that we've seen and been teased that we haven't seen yet.
Can't wait for the
So quite a
Daredevil
lot coming.
episode. That's going to be really fun.
I would say so far this show has been a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
I think it's got a lot that it can do. I hope that we get multi seasons. I hope that we get a lot. Because 10 episodes is not that much, especially when each episode is only around 30 minutes. Though they do feel incredibly long. I do feel like we get through a lot. So that's not a detriment. Overall, I would say that so far, this show, I'll do the show because there's no point doing individual episodes because they're releasing like episode packages. I would say that currently I'm at an 8.5 out of 10.
I am inclined to agree.
I think 8.5 is fair. I think there's some areas it needs to improve in. I think sometimes the animation needs a little bit extra polish. Some of the characters can be a little bit annoying. I've seen quite a few people. What's the best word to say? Crying, being bitches. No, that's too harsh. People upset that there's a focus on Lonnie, who is of African American descent, and his struggles with poverty, his struggles with the police, blah blah
Which
blah. There's people that are upset about that.
For Tombstone being a villain, it makes sense.
I'll be honest, I think it's fine.
It's a fall from grace story. It's going
They're
from
doing
that to this. It's a cool. It's cool. I've seen nothing wrong with it.
they're not overdoing it. They're not trying to shove it in your face like, oh look at how bad everything is. They're just showing you that while he's joyful, cheerful at school, when he's at home, everything is a bit more serious. Outside of the public eye, he's not some superstar football player. He's just a guy being, sometimes
He's a contrast,
profiled.
Peter.
Yeah, because we get to see Peter's journey to and from school, and it's fine, it's joyful, he's happy, he's calm. Lonnie is tense and sad and on edge.
But at the end of the day, both of them do have things of like, and May can't pay bills still, and so can Lonnie's parents either.
One thing, in the first episode, after Peter is bitten, the spider does not die. The spider crawls onto a backpack of another school student. That school student is appears to be African American, so maybe a Miles Morales character for either this season or a future season.
It could be Lonnie's brother.
It could be Lonnie's brother. I think it'd be cool. Lonnie's brother's called Andre, not Miles, though, so maybe that'd throw a wrench in that. But names can be changed for characters. The name doesn't really matter all the time. But yeah, I am fairly happy with this show.
Same, I think it's definitely.
It could have sucked.
It could have been bad.
It could have been awful, and it would have been really sad if it was awful.
And if anyone says anything, we are not getting into what the actor of Spider-Man, the voice actor, has said. We are not going to get into that. We're judging the show on its own, and from what we see, we like it. We're not judging the show from what the actor has said personally.
I think the actor just misworded what he was thinking, and it came off like he was being very intolerant. But I don't think that he is actually intolerant. I think he just wanted the show to be good and do well. And I'll be honest, I think everyone in the show is killing it. I am in love with Norman Osborn's voice. I think it fits the character so well. I think it's Coleman Domingo who is voicing him. I think it's fantastic. I love the deep gravel to it. It holds so much authority.
And he's kind of funny while he's a serious dude, but he's also funny while he's being serious.
I still can't get over the quips that Peter makes every time he's fighting. Like, which dating app did you guys meet on? Burglar, and it's so funny. I love it. I think it's
Same. I think
amazing,
it's amazing. I think it's very well done.
and I'm pardoning the pun again because Amazing Spider-Man is a way to describe it, but we actually don't know which synonym is gonna be used, or moniker is going to be used for this particular Spider-Man, whether it'll be spectacular, amazing, ultimate. Um,
Or
but
just, or really just friendly neighborhood.
I'm liking how they're contrasting MCU events in the show. So like Civil War's happening, the Sokovia Accords have been passed. Like a lot of interesting stuff can be gleaned from the fact that Peter wasn't there at the Battle of New York. Tony Stark doesn't know he exists or doesn't care.
And
So,
Peter in this is not. He's a more of a Captain America fan than he's a Iron Man fan.
so I am very excited for next week. I can't wait for 3 more episodes. I'm sad that it's over in 2 weeks because as I'm sure Slasher will tell you, I am probably my favorite Marvel hero is Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm
and
that one.
and I am quite happy that this turned out well.
I am so glad we finally got a really good Spider-Man show. How it should be done. Ultimate Spider-Man. Take some notes.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I think we've said everything that he's saying.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this review of episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I've been one of your hosts, Azteral.
I'll be the Slasher.
We will see you next week for episodes 6, 7, 8. Until then, we will see you next time in whatever video goes up next, be it a Baldur's Gate video or a podcast episode. So yeah, bye for now.
Bye for now.
We escaped.
Forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them.
It's over, Anakin!